being here already with already people, enough everyone. Amazing. So hold to these answers. They're already very powerful answers. Let's understand these answers so that knowledge becomes wisdom. Knowing something and being something. They are two different things, by the way. We can read the books, we can listen to somebody else and know something. But how about being that? And today, let's try to be that. Oh, I did not share my definition. Okay. For me, abundance is having a great freedom of doing whatever I want to do. But wait for it. Most people get to this point and then they put a full stop. No, no, no. There's no full stop. The sentence moves ahead is having a great freedom to do whatever I want to do, but having a greater responsibility, accountability of what I do with that power for the world. Just by getting that power is not abundance. Understanding what I do with that power, that I have freedom. Many people get the freedom and then we become spoiled. But responsibility, with the great power comes great responsibility. Okay, so I want to start with this. Already, let's start breaking some of those concepts which we have been taught by the society in the world and education system. Dr. Ritesh is going to talk about a phenomena, a paradox called Easterlin paradox. And then we will discuss this paradox. I will understand this paradox from different people in the next screen. Let's understand this, okay? Let's break a very, very big misunderstanding. The whole generation, is like majority of the people who are having it, which is money brings happiness. Let's say this. Let's listen.
The more money you have, the more you start becoming depressed because of the Easterlin phenomenon. Easterlin paradox states that after a particular amount of money, happiness either becomes stagnant or starts reducing. I was so excited to understand that why does not happiness increase with having more money? Until a particular point, happiness is directly proportional to money. You have to have basic needs. Without that, you can never be happy. So till this point, it's amazing. But post that, there is an amount in everyone's life after which happiness cannot be defined by money, after which happiness gets defined by meaning of life, purpose, deep relationships, self-image, ability to do things which can impact a larger sense of the society. So Easterlin paradox is one of my favorite depictions of relationship between happiness and money.
Money, happiness. Easterly paradox is nothing but truth. But again, knowledge versus wisdom. So today we present you wisdom of two people who have seen the life from all the different angles, from all the different stages of age, as a child, as a teenage, as an adult, as an old person, all the stages, and then finally have understood what is abundance. Harshad Parekh, he is a advocate for veganism. He has transformed his life by cancer, multiple strokes, and many other diseases, and still he is healthy, happy, walking on 2 feet, human at 80 plus. He's an entrepreneur now. He has just started his latest company called Plantacious at 80 plus, and is full of happiness and wisdom. Last year, I recorded his session for Happy Summit, and which was so powerful that I decided to play it again. So listen to him. He has sent his wishes. He said that I would love to know what people think about this talk. He is so excited for you to listen to this and then make your own direction, path towards abundance. So here we go. Hello, sir. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm very good. Thank you so much for giving time for Happy Summit. I know that you are busy and you are also doing many things. So we are recording this for the participants who are watching this at 5 a.m. in the morning. Thank you so much for your time, sir.
Thank you very much for inviting me. It is always a pleasure to talk to you. You are a true warrior for the veganism and ahimsa.
Thank you, sir. Just getting inspiration from you every day. Sir, this summit is about being happy, and that today's topic is about being abundance and feeling being happy in life. So I want to talk about these three things with you because what whenever I met you, I feel that you are truly a happy human and a truly abundant one, and you have lived the life and you're still living life with the same energy which maybe you were living in your young age. So I could not imagine a better example than you. Hence my questions are these. Number one, what is happiness for you, or what is the definition of happiness for you?
Definition of happiness is that whatever condition you are in, you should perceive to be happy. Even though you may be going through pain and suffering in life, God is so divine, is so loving and so kind and so generous about it that He is always blessing us under any circumstances we are. So, under the disguise of some pain and suffering, there is always hidden happiness inside for us, and that's a gift from the divine. So, my definition of happiness is that happiness which comes from within, which is your soul, and people usually mistake happiness with a pleasure. Pleasure is momentary and it comes from outside source. And happiness is eternal and it comes within from you. So my mentor, Sri Akbar Ali Jetha, who made me vegan 35 years ago in 4 sentences, his book Reflection, the first sutra is, if you are not happy now, you may never be. So the message is that you should feel happy about everything in life, even though you are under tough situation. You should feel happy that you are alive, that you are lucky, that you have given a birth as a human being, as compared to the other our brothers and sisters who doesn't have that kind of luxury of having our senses and resources and abundance which God has provided to us. And my experience says that if you feel that way from within, then the happiness, that material happiness follows it. So that is what, in short, I can say, and I can describe more if you have any other question. That
No, sir. That's
Good,
amazing. Wow, I love that line. If you're not happy in now, you may never be happy in your life.
right,
So that means you have to learn the art of being happy in now.
exactly.
How did you learn that art, sir? What happened? How the life taught you this lesson, and what is the meaning of life for you from this angle where you feel like happiness is in now?
That is because of my mentor Akbar Ali Jetha, who I met 35 years ago, and who said 5 sentences, and that converted me and my wife vegan. And he said that if you become 1% harmless, you can get 1% benefited. If you become 100% harmless, if you get 100% benefited. And I asked him, who gives me all this benefit? So he said, whatever, whoever you consider your God, your Krishna, Allah, Jesus, Mahavira, Buddha, whoever you consider, or Prakriti, or nature, they give you abundance in life if you are harmless, egoless, truthful, and honest. So the basic philosophy of life is all about is that if you are harmless, egoless, truthful, and honest, meaning you don't harm anybody, nobody can harm you. So if nobody can harm you, the God has given us the birth with a blessing that you are always in a moment of love, joy, happiness, truth, kindness, generosity, be a giver, not a taker, and be in a bliss, and be a truthful. But why most of the people are not that, and we are always in the fear, worry, guilt, pain, suffering, envy, anger, jealousy. That is all because of our karma. So when we become vegan, and then I ask him, what do I have to do to become harmless, egoless, and truthful and honest? He said, just drop the milk. So we just drop the milk, not other dairy product, but still the internal process start as soon as you decide even mentally that I want to be vegan. I don't want to hurt cows. I don't want to hurt anybody. And the whole process starts. And then you get a message from within that if you are not drinking milk, how can you have yogurt or ice cream or something like that? And then it grows from within that if you are not taking dairy product, how can you use leather, wool, silk? These are physical things. But then the process goes beyond that, that you become mentally harmless, egoless, and truthful. So mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, you have to become harmless, egoless, truthful, and honest by your thought, word, and deed. Means you don't cheat anybody, you don't say something bad to anybody, and don't think about anybody to be like take a revenge or be fearful about anybody. So that is a process, and then it your brain start thinking, your life start thinking in that way. So you don't think to hurt anybody. And once you are at that stage, then you will realize that divine has given so much to all of us that it is unbelievably kind and generous to us. But we cannot experience it and we cannot understand it unless you stop being harmful to anybody. So, in my understanding, we are all living unconscious life right now. We don't know the meaning of life. What is the meaning of the life is? Meaning of the life is that we are agent of the God. Saint Francis of Assisi has said, "Make me an agent of divine to bring peace on the earth." So we are all agent of the God. We are supposed to bring peace, happiness, joyfulness, and compassion to the people. And once you start thinking in that respect, then the door opens of heaven. There is no heaven or hell upstairs or downstairs. It's all here. And I'm perfect example of it because I have gone through three cancers, one stroke, two kidney disease, one Crohn disease, two bankruptcies, and I have today so much abundance. Okay, I cannot describe it. Just yesterday, one Jain Muni, very famous Jain Muni, Namra Muni, who has a 13 ashram in Gujarat and Maharashtra. They invited me to take their kitchen here in Ghatkopar and make it vegan kitchen. They said, take over and make everything vegan. So we are going to make one kitchen vegan for so many vegan Jain people, bring them a knowledge why you should be vegan, why you should not drink milk and ghee and all those things. So who gives all this thing to me? I didn't go out and ask for anything. They seek me. And why they seek me? Because I'm trying to consciously live harmless, egoless, truthful way of life. And that you have to do it knowingly. And that becomes your life, then you get abundance. Like I was going through bankruptcy a couple of times in my life. I had one time money not to buy airline ticket and pay for my airline ticket. And now God has given me so much that I'm a managing trustee of the trust, which is a property worth 150 crores. You have done the Ubuntuverse come many times, and we have done potlucks and other. So I'm fully example um, of showing that if you become harmless, egoless, and truthful way of life by thought, word, and deed, everything is there. We just have to open our eyes, and it's in front of us.
Wow, sir. Wow. So, you have already answered my next question, a part of it for already, but I still want to focus on this question because the topic of this today's is abundance, and you talked about abundance, and you said that we need to become harmless, egoless, and we need to be a giver. But I feel that everybody wants to, but somewhere there is a mindset of that I do not have enough. First let me first do things to for myself, first let me have enough money, enough things, and then I want to give. but today is not the day I can give. Today is I'm not enough to give. So abundance, how do you define abundance? How can anybody be a abundance? And because people are like listening to you, who are, even there are students who are listening to you now. Student can say, how can I feel abundance? I'm just a student. So how do you define abundance, and can anybody feel abundance, or somebody has to go through life transformation and then only can feel abundance and then they start giving?
That's the beauty of life. Our divine is so loving and generous and kind and compassionate that he has given abundance to everybody. Now, I'll give you an example. Suppose somebody is a student. He is hardly having enough money to educate himself or feed himself. He doesn't have to give money. He can give compassion. You can release somebody's pain. Some poor person is sitting there and you can spare 1 rupee or 10 rupee, and that will make a meal for them. Or give an advice to somebody who is confused, who is in the pain or suffering. You give a shoulder to cry. That is also abundance. So money should not be equated with the abundance. Abundance of health, abundance of compassion, abundance of generosity. So there are many ways you can do. And this is like a domino effect. Once you start this process, then things will happen automatically. You don't have to do it. You have to just change the frame of your mind and don't feel guilty or pain or guilty about it. "Okay, I don't have much. I am very much depressed. I don't have any resources." Everything will follow you, provided you do this harmless, egoless, truthful, and honest. That is, these are the four pillars of our life. And once you follow this by T, meaning knowingly or unknowingly, intentionally or unintentionally, do not harm anybody. By saying something, by thinking something, or by doing something. And then the floodgate will open. I am telling you from my own experience, I cannot explain that opportunities God has given me. That just let me tell you that all my life I was a food business in USA. I retired in 2007. Now in 2024, I'm 80-year-old, and we have just created mind-blowing butter, vegan butter for Indian market. We are going to compete directly with Amul butter and Nutralite, and we'll be selling thousands of tons of vegan butter. Now, who gives me this kind of ideas and courage and strength to do it at the age of 80? Divine gives, because divine thinks that I am divine's agent and I can do something good for the cows. So, what is my motivation in life? My motivation in life right now is that if I make one more vegan, just one more vegan, by virtue of making them eat butter and milk and non-dairy things, one more cow's life is saved in their lifetime of consumption of butter. So that is my motivation. My motivation is not just to make money. If I make money, I'm going to do charity. So the same way, somebody who is a college going student, or somebody is doing a good job or looking for a job, your motivation should be that of course you should be fed all right. Of course you should have a comfortable life. But then think about somebody else who is not as lucky as you are. That you are lucky, you have education. People do not have money to educate themselves. Just to give you an example, that in our trust, we have a school which is a free school for Gujarati medium girls. And the girls coming from there comes from Jhupatpatti, like poorest of the poor people. So these girls comes hungry in the morning. Education is free, but they are hungry. So we are feeding them high protein, high calcium soya milk. Now we are feeding 300 girls soya milk. How much it costs to me? 1500 rupees. That's it. So 1500 rupees is bringing smile to 300 girls in their life. And I think I've asked the people that please check whether their attendance has improved, whether their health has improved. So you can do many things. It doesn't have to be a lot of money or a lot of time. Do something about it. And once you start doing something about it, the karma's theory take into effect. So when you do good karma, you get good result back. And also there is a multiplication. If you do good karma, you will get benefited 20 to 40 times your karma in next 20 to 40 years. And if you do bad karma, you will get punished 20 to 40 times more in next 20 to 40 years. See, the irony is that if you do some bad karma right now, if I try to cheat you suppose something for 1 lakh rupees, I don't get punished tomorrow. I get punished after 20 years. So I cheat you for 1 lakh and I feel happy in my mind. Oh, I have cheat you for 1 lakh rupees and I am happy about it. After 20 years, something happened big, like cancer comes to me. And at that time, I go to temple and try to complain to the God. Oh God, why did I get this? What did I do wrong? I forgot that I cheated you for 20 years ago. So be conscious about it. Okay, nothing goes unnoticed in life because karma theory is very, very strict. It's like software and hardware. Whatever you put inside, it will come out same way. So we
Wow.
have to be conscious about our life. Most of the us we are living unconscious life, and ultimately the happiness or bliss or enlightenment will come to you only if you follow this simple rule to start with, and then the progress will come into your life automatically. You don't have to do too many things. That's what
Wow,
my
sir.
experience is all about.
Wow, sir. Wow. Wow. I'll have, I think, last two questions to you. Number one is, have you heard about Easterlin paradox?
No, I'm not aware of it. Can you explain to me,
Yes.
please?
So the Easterlin paradox is a paradox which is a graph between money and happiness, and it shows that hmm, I think we already got a good lessons from him. There's some part of the video which you can watch on the YouTube. This recording is going to be uploaded on YouTube. But you got the main gist from 80 years of experience of Harshad Parekh. There's another person who spoke last year, and that video is also uploaded on YouTube. I'm going to send the link in the group today. You can watch at any time. Robin Singh, he is a founder of People Farm, and he recently wrote actually a book called Happiness Happens. He was last year in Happy Summit, and now he is the author of a book called Happiness Happens. His interview is also on the YouTube. You can listen to many people on this topic, but the idea is to not keep listening, becoming. But I've been so honored and lucky that I found in the last year's journey. So we just heard an 80-year-old, young, energetic human. How about if you listen to somebody who is 90-year-old? Let's go even 10 years plus. I met Ken this year, and one of the biggest achievements of my this year is meeting Ken and knowing Ken and seeing his joy and finding his why and living his why. And I requested Ken just last night, by the way. Ken, would you like to talk about abundance? Because you have seen 90 years of everything. And you know what he said? Let's do it. So, Ken, let me give you admin rights so that you can unmute yourself. Here we go. Add as a co-host. And I'll stop sharing for now so that I can focus on, we all can focus on Ken. Ken, are you able to unmute yourself? See, now you are a co-host. You should be able to. No, wait.
There it is.
Yes?
Yeah.
Yes. Let me pin you for everybody. Here is Ken for you, Ken. Do share about abundance, about any life lessons, and guide us so that we all create a powerful, abundant life for ourselves. Thank you. Over to you, Ken.
Yeah, for me, abundance. I mean, that was a fabulous story we just heard. Absolutely fabulous. And he has thought himself through so thoroughly. And I think I'm still in the process of thinking myself through because this has all been a very creative year for me. Very creative year. But my second part of life began in 1987. That's a while ago. And that was when Allison and I were assigned to make $40,000 in Peru for a house that we just bought for the volunteer staff for the project there. This was a time of hyperinflation, 8% a month inflation in Peru. There was a war going on, and it was extremely dangerous to be out and about. We had no idea what to do. So we had a contact at the UN, went there, and ended up making a proposal to them to unblock a huge 270 hectare industrial park in this barrio of 300,000 people built on a sand dune with no water, no electricity. And here's this park all finished and nothing in it, no employment, nothing. And they said, give us a proposal and we'll hire you as experts. Well, Alex and I were not experts. We had college degrees and I had a master's degree, okay. But we were not experts, except what we'd done. We'd been working with a nonprofit, the Institute of Cultural Affairs. Incidentally, I was 5 times in India with them and in 23 other countries. And Allison, I worked 4 years in the village in Guatemala. She's 20 years younger than I am. And the two of us together, she had the Spanish and I had the organizational experience or whatever to create something out of nothing, which I had done many times. Our attitude is there is no problem. There's just opportunity. So we were looking for opportunity with somebody else who thought they had a problem, which was the UN. They couldn't open up this park. So we made a proposal. We went door to door and organized 6 business guilds. And in 6 months, the park was opened by these people, these local people who demanded that they have a place to move the industries out of their homes, the illegal industries in their homes, and put them into the park. We never got to see that because my mom died, my dad was alone, and Alice and I were called back to the States. And we only discovered what happened at that park actually 20 years later. But we completed our job and we lived on, I have to mention, we were living on a stipend of $96 a month. That was our income. So, and we paid back the loans on the house and we went back to the States and we were just fish out of water. We did not want to take a job. We didn't want to get trapped in the jobs again. We did independent marketing. And some years later, we had a lovely home in Florida. And we decided it was time for us to add a daughter to our family. Allison had always wanted one, but she never wanted to have her own child, but to adopt one. So we applied to adopt, and they had a requirement that we go through, I think, 4 months of training. And then they told us we had to be foster parents until a child showed up. Well, 23 children later, over 30 months, we had 23 children. We were the home of last resort when they did a drug bust or something like that, and a family, and they found children in the house. They called us at 3 a.m. And a car came and delivered the children to us in shock. And we saw an opportunity, not a problem. So it was a vacation time for the children. We made it a great vacation time. And in the process, we found our daughter, who today is 28 years old. So that was one way that we found to serve where other people didn't see the possibility. And then we were called back to Peru and got settled in a nice apartment in a nice district. And an earthquake happened in 2007. And 200 kilometers, 8.0 earthquake, 200 kilometers south of us. The country of Japan had an earthquake fund, and they called asking if somebody could go down and help the people. We went down, and they needed housing. They were all living in the streets. And we organized the people, trained them, found the materials, and built 3,500 houses in 6 months for them. We didn't build one of those houses. The people built them themselves out of native materials. They're beautiful. Some of them are still standing. They're only supposed to last 6 months. And the people were organized to such an extent and had such a profound spiritual experience in that organization that they at the end of it, when the celebration, one woman said, "I just wish we had another earthquake so we could do this all over again." That sense of community, that sense of life, just like we experienced uh, 20 years or 30 years before that, when we were working in the village. Uh, since then in Peru, we've been helping the community kitchens. There are 3,000 of the community kitchens, spontaneous organizations of families to feed themselves around the hills of Lima. 3,000 of them, and we've been helping them go vegan, which is an exciting process. And that sense of community, that sense of demand for our creativity, that sense of not seeing a problem but seeing an opportunity, had sort of gone dead for me. And then one of my Indian friends who lives in Scotland, Amit, said, "You got to go take this program. You got to go Find My Why." And I did that, and I started that on the 7th of July. I haven't missed a morning since then. We were getting up at 4 a.m. at that time. I haven't missed one morning. I wouldn't think of it. This is where I found the community that I was looking for. And in the process, through Climate Healers, who I've been working with for 5 years, through Climate Healers, I was invited to make a proposal. And I've been hearing so much about the heat and the pollution in Delhi that I said, I'm going to make a proposal for Delhi. And I wrote up a 2-page proposal, and I presented the proposal. And Abhinav presented a proposal also at the same event on the 2nd of November. And they accepted the proposal. I never expected that. So now I got to produce on this proposal, and it feels wonderful. I'm back in the saddle again, and I'm seeing once again that local organization at the local level can win. It'll take some time. We're figuring 5 years, but the voices will rise. The people will understand that they are the cause of the pollution, not somebody somewhere else. But they can contribute, and as they contribute, their contribution will be respected, and the major polluters will be called to accountability. So that's the process we see there. And many of you listening, I hope you'll join us who are in and around Delhi, and give us your wisdom about how to proceed with that. But this is what I see as abundance. There are endless problems that can be seen as opportunities. When you see a problem as an opportunity, you are given a huge gift. The demand for you to use your highest powers, to use all your resources. I've never had a lot of financial resources. I never wanted a lot of financial resources. We live on a small pension now, and we live very happily. We couldn't live on it in the United States. It wouldn't be possible. It wouldn't be enough. But it's enough here. And we make it enough just by the way we live. So it isn't about the living. That part is easy. The part is to have something that demands everything you got. When you think you can't go another mile, when you think you don't have anything else, that's when abundance kicks in, I think, for me. So thank you, Abhinav, for the opportunity to wake up and get back in the saddle.
Wow. That's why I shared while I was sharing Ken. Okay, because it was all last night. So I was thinking, what should I write under the Ken Hart? So I think I did this.
I didn't mention that. I changed my name.
Yes.
I changed the name this year. My birth name, my last name is Hamji, and Allison still has that name. And I've decided I'm a new person. I've got to use her maiden name. So I'm Ken Hart now. Excuse me.
Yes.
That's
and
my
under the Ken Hart, I immediately I just thought, what do I relate to? Kevin, I listened to Ken, and I just relate to him being an activist for a happy world. And he's right. Yeah. You're an activist for a happy world, for all the beings, for all the life forms. And you can imagine at 90, he's launched his another campaign to solve a problem opportunity in Delhi. Because in the mind, he's not thinking, I'm 90, I'm in Peru. I mean, he could have saw the problem from a different point of view. I'm in Peru. What can I do about it? I'm 90. Let me chill now, rest now. Oh, it's
See,
so difficult. India is so corrupted and all that. He could have had 100 statements to deny that problem, but what he chose is, I'm gonna do it. And then he made a proposal and got selected. He is abundant in his mind and he sees opportunities, not problems. Ken, thank you so much for being you. 170 years of experience and stories you heard today. What else you want, my friend? Already we are abundant, right? We are abundant of listening to Ken, Harshad, sir. And if you want to listen more, of course, there is so more. You can listen to Robin. But the point is how you're going to design your life now. And that's where today's task is. The task for today, of course, the one task which you're going to do is today is you're going to share your 3 top takeaways. Okay. You can always put more than 3, but 3 is the starting point. Something from Harsha sir, something from Ken, or something from anybody who said anything here. Because you don't know when that magical one statement or one thing comes to you from whom. Okay. If you're a listener, you just catch it. And then after that, take some time in your abundance segment for 2026, write some action points. What are you going to do? Are you going to be a vegan? Like how Arshad sir said that if you be 100% harmless, you become 100% benefited. Are you being a grateful person in 2026? Are you going to be somebody who's going to see problem into opportunities? What are the action points for you? Okay. And that is going to be different for you, everybody, because you are at a different stage of life. But you have to decide some action points, some habits, something you learned today, which you are going to write down in your abundance segment. 2026, this is what I'm going to say, feel, do, and become abundant. So that you have the abundance set also ready for you. Okay. But here is a secret. Don't wait for 2026. Start it today. Okay. It's all man-made concept of next year, next day. If you get it today, you start today. Okay. Okay. That will be it. Let's be happy. Thank you so much. Because we have some time, we can maybe invite few questions because Ken is here live. If you want to ask anything from Ken, maybe we can take 2-3 questions for next 10 minutes or so. If you have any question or any comment, think about it. Okay. Venkatesh, let me make the settings different. Here you go, Venkatesh. You can ask any question to Ken, or if you want to ask anybody else here, like me.
I was curious about the proposal. What was the substance of the proposal that addresses the pollution in Delhi? Thank you.
yeah, it's a good question. I believe, and we've already got some substance about it, that there are literally 1,000 or more initiatives already going on in Delhi at the very local level. People who are planting plants on their balcony, people who are collecting garbage, cleaning up garbage in their neighborhood, people who are watering down the dust, colonies that have created programs. We know a couple of them, societies who have created programs. Those are all invisible. The press today has no interest in those. Those are just little people. They always want to look for big stories. The little stories, the little people, that's where the action is. That's where the power is. That's where the creation is, the invention. And we want to find those people, find those initiatives, help them to grow their initiative, capture their wisdom and spread that wisdom, and create thousands of little initiatives that were invisible before across the city. And in 5 years, that can have a force that can turn into a political force. Perhaps I'm not visioning anything like that, but I don't know how that force will act out. But that'll create a force that will change things, just like we did when we organized the guilds and opposed the most strongest political powers in Peru in the 1980s to allow the people to have the park for themselves instead of the corruption of large landowners. So yes, local initiative needs to be discovered, it needs to be highlighted, it needs to be made visible. And perhaps we'll attract a famous personality who would like to become a public face of that campaign. Perhaps we can attract a couple of billionaires who would like to become sponsors of some major projects that could back that whole system up. Perhaps it'll have a life of its own, and that's the plan. It isn't very sophisticated, I'm afraid, but it certainly is a tested truth about how you go about awakening a population to deal with their own problem. And that's not to say that other people don't have responsibility. Other people do have responsibility, but only when the people themselves begin to see that the little things they do can make a difference and can be highlighted. And then we can hold the press accountable for telling the stories, okay? And then we begin to find people who can bring major resources to it if that's what's required. And I'm not going to make any predictions about what's required. What do I know? I'm just an old guy in Lima, Peru, you know?
Thank you.
Was that an answer to your question?
Yeah, I think it's a very good, reasonable answer. My short summary of your answer is doing the small things in the best efficient way, and then expanding them and refining them, and just keep doing the small things. They will all add up.
Oh, that's wonderful. We need you on the team. I speak too many words. We're on WhatsApp. We're on WhatsApp. So please step forward.
Sure.
We'd love to have you join us.
Thank you. Lalitama, please.
Hey, Shubhodaya. Hi, Ken. This is from Namma, Bengaluru, India. Shubhodaya. Hi. My question is, yesterday in the paper regarding again Delhi pollution, right? The government, the Supreme Court has said that it's the affluent class lifestyle that is actually causing the suffer. Like, for example, it could be using motored vehicles, right? Each one going in single passenger vehicle, and then that is causing one. And second is the lifestyle itself. On a blink of a button, you're ordering everything. I mean, we do have everything, but you're on a click of a button, you're ordering. So this is mostly affluent class which is doing, but the effect is on the lower, middle, and the poorer sections. Is what was the news that was there in the paper. What is your view on it?
First, I'm extremely sorry that my country has brought all of that wonderful convenience to your country, and I apologize for that. I think that we're not going to change those habits quickly and easily, but when in a colony, when one or two families in the colony begin to exercise their consciousness and call for change, then things can change at the colony and the society level. And even in those, especially in those neighborhoods, there can be incentives and clever incentives sometimes, like competitions between balconies. We're going to have a beauty competition between balconies, as an example, okay? We're going to have a competition for green walls. We're going to have a competition for societies and colonies that build green barriers around their space. Those type of things, I think, can take on a status symbol once you get enough visibility for the local initiative. But then you know, if you can get a public face behind it, and it can turn into something that shows up on billboards or in other ways. Now you've got another level of effectiveness that can flow from that. But directly, as you already know, there's no direct, simple solution to something as complex as this. I mean, we can propose moving the Himalayas. I mean, they're part of the problem. You know, they block the airflow, but we're not proposing that. We're proposing that people do something. I'm being facetious.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Lalitamba, Venkatesh, and everybody for listening, asking. Now the time is for you to act, do the task, share in the group. I'm just sharing the links and everything there. And we meet tomorrow again for P. What is P? We'll talk tomorrow. Okay. Today, let's focus on abundance. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Ken. And thank you, Harshad sir, for sending us such a great wisdom. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Bye all. Good day.
Watching the recording.
Thank you. Thank you.